What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video I'm going to be going over how I hired an entire team for my YouTube cash cow channel, and I'm going to be showing you guys how I did it. So a while back, about 10 days ago, I asked a poll in my YouTube channel in which, what video do you guys want me to make next? Let me know. And I gave 4 options, and I first made the revenue updates channel because this video was the most desired video. But it turns out after some time, it turns out most people want to hear how to actually hire or vet a content creation team. So I'm going to be going over that in this video. So if this is something you're interested in, keep watching to the end of this video, because it's going to be hopefully more clear to you on how to actually find people to help you run your YouTube cash cow channel or automation channel. So let's get started with the video. So first off, with YouTube, I think the most important thing you have to do first is break down YouTube into steps. So if we think of YouTube as a overall, cogwheel cycle in which you need to complete all the steps so that you can run a successful channel, we first have the research, then we have the script, then we have the voiceover, video edit, optimization. So then we have the thumbnail design, upload, and then the marketing. Okay, so for me personally, I see YouTube as a series of 8 steps. It's not just script, voiceover, and video edit. A lot of people probably have this misconception that, okay, if I hire a script writer and then I hire a voiceover artist and I hire a video editor, I am going to have a good video. That's only a key part of it. So if you think about it, that's only 3 out of the 8 steps. You've only got about 30% of what it actually takes to run a cash cow channel or YouTube automation channel. Let me go ahead and break down what the actual each step consists of. Research is probably one of the most important ones, because if you don't get your research on a video topic right, you are wasting all this time on a video that is not even based on good research. So what good research consists of is making sure the videos worked before in the past, making it on a trending topic, making sure that you're using, or the video topic that you have in mind has keywords, making sure that it has some search volume. So I have multiple videos covering this topic. I'm not going to go too detailed into it. It kind of ties into my niche selection process, or how I actually choose videos to make videos for. But if you need a reminder, comment down below, and I'd be more than happy to make a video similar to this, or remake a video covering this topic. But next comes the script. The script is a part of the YouTube creation process that people are more familiar with, in which they usually just hire a script writer. So in my Patreon Diamond member course, or my YouTube Success System course, I have a breakdown of what I use to hire script writers, if that's something you're interested in. So, but again, essentially a script writer, it's just someone that you hire. Me personally, I hate writing scripts, so I don't focus too much on that at all. Voiceovers, I'm terrible at voiceovers, but a voiceover artist should, later in this video, I'm going to be going over what a quality voiceover should be like. Video editor, I usually hire this out as well. There's nothing more detailed about it. With video editing, it does get a bit complex. So which is why I also have a guidelines dedicated to video editing and how I want my videos done, which this is also something that I give to my members of my Diamond Patreon and YouTube Success System course as well. Now, in regards to optimization, people overcomplicate things. Optimization, I have a lot of videos covering optimization in my YouTube channel here, but essentially what it means is just including your keyword in the title, including your keyword in the description, and including a keyword in your tag. There's nothing much to that. I think what separates successful videos from unsuccessful videos is more so than just the SEO. It's making sure that you're using keywords, but then having a human appeal to it. Next comes the thumbnail design. If there's 2 things or 3 things that I think people kind of skip out on, it's the research, and then it's the thumbnail design, and then it's probably the marketing. So with thumbnail design, if you're spending all this time, researching, scripting, let's say you're spending time researching the video, and then you pay a script writer, you pay a voiceover artist, you pay a video editor to create your video. If you smack it with a bad thumbnail, you're basically just shooting yourself in the foot, and the video is just going to fail ultimately. So not only have you spent time working on the video, but you're also spending money, so don't skip out on creating a good thumbnail. I have multiple videos talking about how to create a good thumbnail, so do check them out as well. Uploading, it is a part of the process. It's a very simple, straightforward process, but in order to take yourself out of the equation of running a completely outsourced YouTube channel, uploading is one of the steps. Now, as far as marketing goes, I see marketing as displaying your video on multiple outlets. whether it's inside YouTube or outside of YouTube. So marketing involves community boards, it involves pinned comments, it involves end screening, it involves your own community boards. So a lot of ways you can market your video that I feel like a lot of people are also skipping out on. So again, if there's 3 things that I think that people are lacking in when it comes to running a YouTube automation channel or a YouTube cash cow channel, it's number 1, the research, number 6, thumbnail design, and number 8, marketing. So ask yourself, of these steps, which one can you outsource? Like honestly, of these 8 steps, which do you think you can outsource? And in reality, you can outsource all of them. Okay, I've hired people to do each and every single one of these steps, which is why I'm able to spend very little time on my YouTube channel. So there's a common, it's not, I'll be honest in that I'm not completely out of the equation just because I enjoy doing some things. Like if I'll find a relatable, current trending topic, I'll actually go in and research it and then put it into production. So thumbnail design, I really enjoy the thumbnail design process, creating viral thumbnails. So sometimes I'll create my own thumbnail designs as well. But overall, I have people working along with me, people that I've hired who also do the research, who also do the thumbnail design, who also do the marketing for me. And as I've said before, these are usually just steps. Let me write down here, usually skipped out on. So like I said before in the previous slide, number 1, usually skipped out on. Number 6, usually skipped out on. And number 8, usually skipped out on. And what I mean by usually skipped out on is that people usually have a easier time fulfilling these 3 steps and obviously uploading the video and slapping it with an optimization, but they really don't take time to research the videos, thumbnail design, and marketing. Okay, as I discussed before. So where do you actually hire the team to create these videos? Or not just, like I said, creating the videos you can hire in Fiverr, Upwork, but literally, where do you hire someone to do thumbnail design, optimization, research, uploading, marketing? You can do it either on Fiverr and Upwork, but I prefer Upwork, okay? I post job listings daily, but I'll be honest, I haven't posted a job listing in a very, very long time. Just because I have people hiring for me, I'm not sure where they get them, but they just train the individuals using my guidelines. So if you're just starting off, I prefer Upwork. I would just post job postings daily. Or if you don't want to take the time to hire people, but I imagine you do, which is why you're watching this video, you can always reach out to me to create the videos for you. My entire team does everything here. But again, get in touch with me if that's something you're interested in. But to continue with the video though, I prefer Upwork. I used to post, let me correct this. I used to post, job listings daily. I don't do anymore just because my team is so big and I have hiring managers who are constantly onboarding people for me. But aside from that, I'm not going to go too much into detail on how to actually post a job listing on Upwork just because I feel like it's very straightforward and that's something you can look on by yourself. But what I am going to go into detail with is just a few tips to help you with the hiring process. So tip number 1 is that affordable quality work is definitely out there. All right, it just takes time to find them. And I remember kind of coming up with the math for about every 100 candidates that I kind of ran through or interviewed, I would usually hire about 2 or 3 of them, right? So really think of your team that you're coming up together, really think of them as an asset to your team. They're a very valuable asset, and as long as you train them into creating quality videos and you pay them well, they are going to be working with you long term. So I have team members who I've been working with for over 2.5 years now. They're great people. I love, it's a side hustle for them, and so I love paying people in addition to their regular income based jobs. But to have team members who I've been working with for over 2.5 years now, whether they're from here in the US or outside of the US, it's a really good feeling. So tip number 1, affordable quality work is definitely out there. It just takes time to find them. But once you find them, they become a very valuable asset to your team. So that's tip number 1. And I'm going to have 4 tips, so make sure you stay till the end for all of them, because tip number 4 is actually really good as well. So tip number 2, create guidelines for each of your roles and how you want your videos done. So it was probably a month. I wrote guidelines for script writing. I wrote guidelines for video editing. I wrote guidelines for thumbnail designs. I wrote guidelines for all of these roles. So that every time I hire someone new, I just send them the guidelines to follow. So these guidelines save you a ton of time in hiring because all you do is create the document and then send it over to the new hiree every time. So imagine you're hiring more script writers. Instead of explaining the same thing over and over again, or kind of or basically giving them an overview of what the scope of work consists of, you can just send them this document. It's called an SOP. So it's like a standards operating procedure. There's another word for it. Standards operating procedure. But essentially, in our case, it's just going to be a document, step-by-step guide that individuals can follow so that they can complete the task successfully. So I have an SOP for script writing, SOP for video editing, SOP for thumbnail designs, and every time I hire someone new, I just give them that document as part of the training process. So for Diamond or YSS members, they do receive my SOPs that I use for guiding freelancers. I do think it's very helpful because I've spent a lot of time creating it. I'll be honest in that I probably should update it because I've updated the guidelines, but yeah, check it out if you're interested though. Now moving on to tip number 3, focus on quality over quantity. This is pretty self-explanatory, but rather than going a mass route of hiring all the script writers that you can, quality really plays a much better role, okay? So here are some general guidelines, what determines quality candidate for your team. So for a scriptwriter, making sure that they can follow the scriptwriter guidelines or SOP and write an article that doesn't have grammar mistakes. As long as there's no grammar mistakes, that's usually the number one thing I look for. And I have more details in my scriptwriter guidelines, but as long as they can follow it, that's a quality scriptwriter. As far as quality voiceovers go, I don't really have a SOP for them just because it really comes down to, does his or her voice sound good in my opinion? And then within the voiceover, there's no static echoes, ums, or breath sounds. For a quality video editor, follows very similar to finding a quality scriptwriter, in which, can they follow the video editor guidelines for video editors? And, does their creativity match appropriate visuals of what's being said in the voiceover? If the voiceover is talking about a car, I expect to see a car. That's just basic video editing skills that I look for video editors. And that usually weeds them out of whether or not they're a good video editor to join the team. Now, as far as project manager goes, so I actually didn't mention this, but project manager, it's not a role of an entire breakdown of a YouTube process. So this is something I save for last, but when you do scale big enough, hiring a project manager who can organize and appropriately communicate between team members is important. The project manager is able to relay any problems to you while being able to handle problems his or herself. So this is more for advanced YouTube channel owners who are already making money and are really looking to be hands-off with their YouTube channel. Project manager is essential for scaling, but it's not essential for starting. Okay. Now, this is the last tip. So for your Upwork job listings, use one of the screening questions as experience or examples. So on Upwork, you can add your own questions to kind of weed individuals out. So a very common thing I use to weed people out, just because I'm not in such dire need of work, I'll always ask a question based on experience. Okay, so have you created a thumbnail? Let's pretend I'm hiring a thumbnail designer. Have you created a thumbnail for a video that's gotten 100,000 views? If so, I will hire you instantly. And then they'll usually send this as an example. But what I kind of use to screen individuals is, one, do they have experience? If yes, I'll look at their proposal. If not, I won't look at their proposal. And the reason why is because there are so many scriptwriters, there are so many voiceover artists, there are so many thumbnail designers, so many video editors, that I'm bound to find people with experience. It's a fact. Just because this has been, a business model for so long now, I make sure that my screening questions have to do with something related to experience or examples. And if they're able to prove their experience or prove their examples, then I will hire them, or I'll actually take their proposal, or I'll take a look at their proposal is what I mean. So aside from that, let me go back to the title of the video. So again, this video is going to be about how I hire a team, but this is essentially all the steps that I followed. Okay, I broke down YouTube into steps, kind of asked myself which is outsourceable. So let's pretend that you're just starting out. You can do the research yourself. You can do the optimization yourself. You can do the thumbnail design yourself, possibly. Obviously do the uploading yourself, and take a look at my other videos to do the marketing yourself. So essentially, it's starting off, you may only need to hire out these 3 steps. So, with that being said though, I imagine that especially as new beginners first starting out, you are going to be part of the video creation process. But as you get better and you start making money and your channel starts generating money, sorry, excuse me, and your channel starts generating money, then you can go ahead and outsource the other steps of the video creation process. Okay, and that's when eventually ideal goal would be to outsource everything like how I do now. But aside from that, I think that's all I got for this video, everyone. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help. Let me know what other videos you want to see. And in addition, if you haven't joined the Facebook group or Discord group, do join down below as well, because I'm very active on there. I'm always talking. We have a great community going on, and I'm doing a very good job of moderating the community, making sure that it's not flooded with services or sub for sub. So I'm hoping that if you're watching this, I'll meet you up on there. But aside from that, thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.